Hey everyone, today I'm doing the Jaclyn Hill Ride or Die tag, and I was tagged by Sandra from TT Sandra. And if I was putting together a list of my Ride or Die YouTubers, Sandra would be at the top. Her videos are very calm and she's articulate and sophisticated, so I'm going to put a link to Jaclyn's video, Sandra's video, as well as Sandra's Instagram because I think it's beautiful and everybody should follow it. But if you haven't heard about this tag, Jaclyn basically picked a bunch of different categories and then you're showing your #1 favorite product in each of those categories. I have a lot of ground to cover, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first category is primer, and I'm not super loyal to a particular face primer. I have some I really like, but I don't think one stands out above the rest. But there is one primer I would be lost without, and that is the Nars Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I'm a fairly oily person, but especially my eyelids, and nothing bothers me more than spending a lot of time and creating a beautiful eye look, and then halfway throughout the day, it either disappears or starts to crease. I've tried a lot of eyeshadow primers and the Nars is still my favorite. Foundation was probably the easiest. Just this morning I opened up my third bottle of the Gressa Minimalist Corrective Serum Foundation. I have talked this product to death because I love it so much, but if you're new, I'll do a quick rundown of why I like it. The first is that it feels like it's an extension of your skincare routine, like you're doing something really nice and nourishing for your skin, not just slapping on a full coverage foundation. And I also love the texture. It's almost water-like, and I have found that 4 drops gives me the perfect amount of coverage. And the last thing is that no foundation I have tried helps me camouflage redness like this does while feeling like nothing on the skin. It's weightless. I just love how it feels. I like the look of full coverage foundations sometimes, but when they're heavy on the skin, that just, I don't know, like one of those things where you just like immediately want to wash your face. So this is a beautiful foundation. Again, this is my third bottle. Currently I'm in shade 2.5, but then when the winter time comes around, I think I'm gonna have to go back to shade 2. For concealer, I have to say the Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. Been using this for a while, over a year. I use the shade Fair Neutral, and I usually use it in conjunction with one of their correctors. I really like the peach one. I was literally this morning like scraping out the last bit of this. This might be my 3rd or 4th tube of this, and I'm trying to decide if I want to repurchase because clearly I know I like it. I'm a little bit tempted by the new Kat Von D. I saw a display this past weekend and I swatched a couple colors. It feels nice. So if you've tried both, do you think the Kat Von D is any better? I like the coverage of the Urban Decay, but sometimes just on one eye randomly I get a little bit of creasing. So if the Kat Von D could be equal coverage but less creasing, that would be something that would make me switch. But let me know if you've tried them both. The next 2 categories are face powder and under eye setting powder, and I actually use the same powder for both. I don't think this is going to come as any surprise. In pretty much every single Get Ready With Me video, I use the RMS Beauty Unpowder. This is incredible for oily skin because it really keeps oil at bay, and it also gives kind of a softened look to pores. So when I'm applying it, I use it in my T-zone, underneath my eyes, and then I make sure to bring it down on either side of my nose. That's where my pores are the largest, and this kind of lightly diffuses that area and masks the pores and just creates a really smooth look. If you ask me my favorite blush brand, I would say Too Faced because I love the Love Blush blushes. My favorite shade is I Will Always Love You, which is a warm, shimmery peach. This one is so beautiful, especially on the apples of the cheeks. But if I could only choose one, I would choose Baby Love. And I actually think I bought this because of Sandra. This one is more of a nude with some mauve to it. And the reason I would go this way is because I think no matter what makeup look I could dream up, this color would pretty much go. It's also a great work blush. It's adding just enough color without being overpowering, and the finish is really pretty. Enough dimension, but it doesn't look like you went crazy with any highlighter. For bronzer, it was really close between this one and the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. I thought about it and I ended up going with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have the lighter of the 2 shades and the tone is perfect. And for somebody as fair as me to find a bronzer you don't really have to think about and it's just effortless. You don't have to think, I need to really blend this out because it's a little bit too dark for me. I think that's amazing. And the texture of this, I think if this was in different packaging and you found it at Sephora, you would never think it was from the drugstore because it feels so smooth and blends out so nicely. The only downside, or maybe potential downside, is that it does have a pretty significant scent. Tropical vacation beach type scent. So if that bothers you and you prefer something a little bit sweeter, the Milk Chocolate Soleil is another great option. I actually have 2 favorite highlighters and I have found a way to sneak in my second, but the one I'm actually choosing for this category is the RMS Living Luminizer. This is a cult product and I think this is probably what RMS is most known for, maybe this and the End Cover Up. The Living Luminizer is one of the first all-natural products I ever tried. And if you're not into really in-your-face highlighters, if you don't want like a metallic streak down your cheek, This is a great option. It gives almost a little bit of a pearlized look to the top of your cheekbones. It's very much that lit from within. I usually just apply it with my fingers. Sometimes I blend it out with a brush. This is one of the few highlighters I can apply to completely bare skin, and it's kind of undetectable. It just kind of melds into your skin, and I like to do it sometimes on no makeup days when I want just a little bit of glow. Okay, since I only had one answer to face powder and under eye setting powder, adding in my own category. I love to know what people contour with. Maybe because I'm so fair, and sometimes contour can be like a little bit harsh if you're not careful. I like to know what people use. And for myself, my favorite contour powder is from the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. I waited for forever to purchase this because it was so expensive, but I use it all the time. I do have a dent in the sculpt side, but I still haven't even hit pan, so it was definitely worth the money. It gives a really natural contour. That's what I have on today. And then the powdered highlighter is my all-time favorite powdered highlighter. So the RMS is for cream and this one is for powder. I have both of these on today, and I feel good every time I wear them. And it's also, I mean, it's a beautiful product, so it's really fun to use. For mascara, there's only one that I wear that I get a lot of compliments on. Actually, a couple people have even thought I was wearing falsies when I was just wearing this, and that is the Benefit Roller Lash. This gives a lot of length, a lot of drama. It doesn't smudge or flake on me throughout the day, and then it's easy to take off at night. I don't think there's much more you can ask for in a mascara. So that category was very easy. The next category, however, I love lipstick. It's my favorite type of makeup, and I thought there's no way I'm gonna be able to narrow this down to just one. And my mind was all over the place. I was thinking White Pepper, Pastille, Charlotte Tilbury Bond Girl, a Marc Jacobs, a Nars Audacious, Mac Mare, and then I just knew. I landed on one, and I knew that this had to be the answer, and that is Red Apple Lipsticks Audrey. This is my perfect pink. It's a medium pink. It's very neutral. It's not too cool. It's not too warm. It's a great everyday shade. And it's one of those pinks that helps to brighten up your face and make you look a little bit more awake. I wear it on its own. I wear it over lip liner like I'm doing today. Just love it. It's a moisturizing formula, so it is a little bit slippery. You might have to reapply a little bit more than normal, but I don't mind that because I love the color so much. Liquid lip and gloss were a lot easier. For the liquid lip, I chose the Jouer formula. I have a couple of these. My favorite shade, I think, is Noisette, which looks a little bit scary. It's a milk chocolate brown, but I blend it in with my finger and make it work. I also like to mix it in with another shade called Melon and create my own custom shade. I also really like the new Bare Minerals formula, but I didn't think I had that long enough to call it a holy grail or ride or die or whatever you want to call this tag. But the Jouer is really nice, lightweight, long wearing, not especially drying or not as drying as some other matte liquid lipsticks that I've tried. And then for gloss, I am throwing it back. I used to talk about this all the time. This is still my favorite gloss. It is the NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu. This is my perfect nude gloss shade. It has some brown to it, some peach to it, just a tiny bit of pink to it, and of course the buttercream or the butter gloss formula is so nice and smooth, and I love the scent of it. One category that Jacqueline didn't include but I'm always curious about is lip liners. I love lip liners, and one of my favorites is Jane Iredale Spice. This is a gorgeous nude, and I wear this underneath so many different lipsticks. I will put this underneath a red lipstick. Just the formula and the shade is really good to define the shape of my lips. I would love to know. Leave down below your all-time favorite lip liner. For lashes, I mean, I could show you a pair of lashes, but I honestly wear them once or twice a year, so I didn't think that made for a true favorite. So instead, I'm gonna show you what I do to make the most of my own lashes. The first I actually don't have with me. I just used up my first tube of it, and that is the Plume Lash and Brow Enhancing Serum. They sent me my first tube. I loved it. I actually tried to make it last a lot longer than it says to on the website because it's very expensive, but I was digging out the last little bit. So just last night I placed an order for a new tube of it, so I'm very excited for that order to come this week. But the Lash Enhancing Serum, I have seen my brows are so much fuller, which is awesome because it means it takes less time to fill them in. And I feel like my lashes fall out less and are just softer. So a Lash Enhancing Serum, step number one. Step number two, this is something I bought on the recommendation of Jem or Jerica. It is the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. It's been a long time, but I want to say I like this even better than when I used to buy the Lancome one. This I apply, it's a white primer, and I put on right before I put on my mascara, and I see a huge difference. So next time you're at the drugstore, look for this. So I guess eyeshadow palette was the question I thought about the longest. And a couple times in Jacqueline's video, she talked about Ride or Die as being the thing that you can really count on, and then a couple times she said Desert Island. So if I was taking an eyeshadow palette to a desert island, I would want it to be a huge palette with a lot of range so I could, create a lot of different looks for the parrots to admire, I guess. So I would probably choose something like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. But if we are talking about an eyeshadow palette that I reach for when I really need something to perform, I need to get out the door quick, I need to know that I'm gonna love the look no matter what I do, I reach for a very small palette. This is from Jane Iredale, and this is the Daytime Eyeshadow Kit. It is just perfect. It is the perfect little eyeshadow palette. You have 4 matte shadows, and then these 2 are great as transitions. You have one that's a little bit warmer, one that's a little bit cooler, and the 2 deeper I'll use as liners. Sometimes I'll even take the deeper brown and use it to deepen up my outside corner. The true star of the show is the cream. It is not matte, it's not shimmery, it's somewhere right in the middle, and it's just glowy on the lid. I think it's so flattering. So this is the palette I reach for. I wear it a lot to work. If I just want to feel confident in my makeup, this is the palette I reach for. For setting sprays, I have 2 options, one for longevity and one for moisture. If I need my makeup to last a long time, I've been reaching for the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray. This is really nice. I was actually very surprised by how much I like it. I think this is my 3rd bottle of it. I try not to use it all the time because it does have alcohol in it. But if it's the weekend and I'm going out and I'm trying to keep my makeup looking fresh, I will use it and I see a difference. And then if I want to, you know, sometimes when you're setting your makeup, you're not really looking to increase the wear, but maybe you want to take down a powdery look or add some moisture back in. And for that, my favorite product is the Elizabeth Dean for One Love Organics Vitamin D Moisture Mist. It's a beautiful product. It has shiitake mushroom and alpine rose in it. It's very moisturizing, and it's the best at taking down any kind of powdery look and just making everything look like it all goes and it's not cakey. So sometimes I'll even put this in my purse and keep it with me throughout the day. And I think it says something that a lot of these products I'm holding up today I'm almost out of, so they're very much true favorites. And last but not least, for perfume, I chose Commodities Moss. This is a unisex scent, and if you go onto Sephora's website, they actually describe it as springtime scent, but to me it smells like fall. It's very woodsy and earthy with a little bit of a crispness to it that I really like. I think that's one of the reasons I like it so much, but it just screams fall to me. So I'm excited for it to get cooler outside. I'm gonna start wearing this every day again. Okay, I think I made it through every category. That was really fun. It's always fun talking about your favorites. I would love to know if you were surprised by any of my answers and if we share any of the same ride or die favorites. So leave that in comment down below, and thank you so much to Sandra for tagging me. I'm gonna tag a few people down below as well, but thank you all for watching today, and I'll talk to you again very soon.